Let me turn now to Seth Kaplan. He's the managing partner of Airline Weekly magazine. First of all, Seth, welcome to our program. So many questions to ask you. First of all, clear up something for us. A few hours ago, an official from EgyptAir came out and said, we have found the wreckage. Greece came out shortly after that saying, not so fast, we're not sure if we have found the wreckage. Why the discrepancy? How hard is it to know whether the wreckage or parts of the wreckage have been found or not?
Yeah, it almost makes you recall, for example, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. So many times where officials there had said something rather definitively, it didn't sound like speculation, only to later walk it back. Obviously they should not have spoken so definitively if they didn't have true confirmation of that. But yeah, now it sounds like maybe, perhaps not. To be clear, this is probably not the kind of mystery that Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 was, in terms of just having no idea in what part of the world the plane went down. I'm rather confident they will find a debris field here, if in fact this one is not. But yeah, you'd rather see them be more confident before making public statements like that.
Seth, when that Russian passenger plane went down over Sharm el-Sheikh last year, it took a long time before Egypt came out and said it was an act of terror. It's been barely 24 hours, and the Egyptians are saying most likely this was an act of terror. So what is the difference? Why, some might say, quick to say this, in fact, was brought down by an act of terror?
Yeah, great question. Really, really a contrast there from sort of very belatedly confirming what the rest of the world sort of had come to suspect, and here, as you say, perhaps seeming to jump the gun. Now, look, they're not the only ones saying this. We have reports of U.S. authorities saying that they have data points that suggest this as well, along with just everything else that we can observe. This airplane seeming to have gone down, out of control, all the swerving and those sorts of things, which can actually help us speculate, and that's all it is at the moment. But even not only that it might be terrorism, but even what kind. Sounds like something more akin to perhaps a bomb that didn't blow the plane apart mid-air, but caused the pilots to lose control. Perhaps blew a hole in the fuselage, let's say, and they tried to regain control but couldn't.
And if in fact it's determined for sure this was an act of terror, are you surprised that at this point there's no claim of responsibility?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened. And again, here for perspective, this would be the first time in a long time that a plane from the developed world, let's call it, had been brought down by a bomb, a plane rather departing an airport in the developed world. I mean, you really have to sort of think back to Pan Am Flight 103 departing London Heathrow. That, though, too, is another interesting analogy that, of course, in 1988 over Lockerbie, Scotland, because in that case, the bomb was not, by all appearances, placed aboard at Heathrow. It had been placed aboard another plane in Malta, which went to Frankfurt, which transferred, the luggage did, to the plane that ended up stopping in Heathrow and then exploding. So there too, there's just a lot left to the imagination here. And a lot of questions, certainly. If indeed it turns out that there was some kind of lapse in security in Paris, that has broader implications well beyond this incident.
And finally, Seth, they're calling this a search and recovery operation, not search and rescue. Can anyone have survived this crash in the Mediterranean?
I mean, it's almost impossible to imagine that. You search in your mind. Obviously, all of us, hoping for a miracle, and you try to find an analogy, and it's just not out there. Hard to imagine that anybody could have survived this.
All right, Seth Kaplan, thank you so much, sir, for your time and insight.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, CCTV-America.com.